Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you another horror movie review. This time we're going to be talking about the fourth entry in the Hatchet franchise, Victor Crowley. Of course, written and directed by Adam Green, as he did in the with the first two films, but the third one he just wrote it. This one he's back in the director's chair as well. And yeah, this is I have the Blu-ray and DVD copy right here, which is out now. Definitely order it if you're interested, which you should be. Yeah, so I was looking forward to this one, and something I've been kicking myself for is, if you guys follow my channel at all for some stupid reason, you'll know I went to a horror convention in, I went to a horror convention last August, which is great, and then since before then we were hearing rumblings about this film, and it was sort of a surprise. Way before then we were hearing rumblings about the film, by the way. It was sort of a surprise that it was getting released when it did last year. Of course, it's only now getting its physical release, but point still remains that they kept us under the radar for a bit, which I kind of appreciate. And something I'm still kicking myself for, though, is the fact that I went to another convention in October in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where I met Kane Hodder, which is really cool, by the way, who of course played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 7, 8, 9, and Jason X, and of course he is also Victor Crowley in the Hatchet films. Really cool guy, by the way. But what I'm kicking myself for is that they had one of the screenings for the fourth Hatchet film, Victor Crowley, here, not too far off from where the convention was, and I wanted to go. It was like a 5-minute drive from the convention center, and it was only going to be like $5 to get in. Adam Green was going to be there too, apparently, as well as Kane Hodder, just taking a walk down there. But I didn't go because I had my parents, my girlfriend with me, and it was almost 11 o'clock, and they didn't want to go. Oh, that's great. And we had came together, so so that still bugs me. How you doing, Penny? Penny's my dog, by the way. But yeah, so I had to wait a bit. Unfortunately, I'm sure all those screenings were a really cool experience from what I heard. So this fourth Victor Crowley film, I liked. I won't say I don't think it's the best in the series so far, but I think it fits in well enough. My favorites of the series so far are probably either the second or the third one. I still debate between the two. I've just been rewatching along with my girlfriend, having her watch the Hatchet movies for some reason. And I love Danielle Harris, so I think her addition starting in part 2 kind of brought the films to another level. And let me tell you how much I loved the post-credit or mid-credit scene in this film as well. Spoilers in the title, so don't blame me if you're already watching it and I'm about to spoil it for you. I'm just going to get right to it right away. We see Danielle Harris's character, Mary Beth, in the credit scene, and I geeked the hell out. Unfortunately, I had read like one single comment on like one of Adam Green's posts or like one of the reviews somewhere or something. like mentioning it, I was like, oh damn, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know if she showed up or not. It would have been a cool surprise, because my girlfriend and I were debating, she was saying she's probably dead, although she may have been saying that to mess with me, because Hatchet 3 did sort of end on a cliffhanger. But, Danielle Harris not too long ago was pregnant as well, and she gave birth to a child not too long ago as well. So this is why our role is probably regulated to what was, a credit scene. It's setting up a 5th film, and I can't fucking wait for that. I know when that 5th film happens, it might end up being the best one, just an early prediction. Mary Beth coming back on Victor Crowley as hard as she's going to, it's going to be pretty badass. And I love Danielle Harris, if I didn't already say that. I really hope to meet her at some point. I already met my favorite horror actress, though, Catherine Isabel. I still would say my favorite's Catherine Isabel, but Danielle Harris is very, very close. I've loved her in all the Hatchet films, the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, the original Halloween 4 and 5. I'm going to watch Shiver, her new movie Inoperable coming out. She was in Stakeland. Getting ready to Inoperable and Shiver sometime within the next week or two as well. So be on the lookout for those. But I love her. I think when people say like Jamie Lee Curtis is a scream queen, I say fuck no. Give it to Danielle Harris. Or when someone brings up like Ellen Ripley or something, or Ripley from the Alien movies, I say no, Danielle Harris. So that's how much she means to me, personally. So I love that after credits scene, and her rocking back and forth in that chair, and then sort of stopping and taking notice when she recognizes Andrew. It's the one she's been waiting for. For 10 years now. She picks up the shotgun and she's ready to go. So that was great. Can't wait for the 5th movie. Now why don't we talk about the 4th film, Victor Crowley? It starts off, like I said, it's 10 years after last we'd seen of any of it, and of course, Parry Shen's character, Andrian, he has he wrote a book to try and cash in on some of the death, which is kind of delved into when the characters are temporary survivors, are forced to sort of confront each other when they're trapped in the plane and everything. And he's doing this book signing, and a lot of people also just think he killed all these people, because there's people that just still don't believe in the Victor Crowley legend because they weren't there. And he's doing all these interviews. He's getting sick of it, but they decide that they offer him $1 million to go back to the swamp and film these overly dramatic shots and interviews and stuff like that. But of course, something screws up with the plane, and they only had a plane because they wanted, again, those overly dramatic shots. Meanwhile, we have a couple of friends who are trying to make a movie, and they're also huge fans of Andrew. And it's funny to see Parry Shen's character to be sort of the main character in this one, because his appearances in the first 3 movies were kind of like a reoccurring joke. Because the boat driver in the first film and his brother in the second, both of them killed, and then we meet Andrew in the last one. Of course, all played by the same actor, and they just make a joke about him looking similar to the bodies, which is funny. But cool. I'm kind of fine with him being the lead in this one, because he is one of the most entertaining parts of him. Of course, the plane crash lands because the girls are listening to different recites of the curse or the saying that brought Victor Crowley back, in the first place, when he was, the whole cabin thing went down. Excuse me. So this actually causes Victor Crowley's resurrection after Mary Beth had put him down, previously. Of course, with Andrew's book, he and his ghostwriter had embellished, exaggerated quite a bit, saying he killed Victor Crowley single-handedly, not mentioning the SWAT team or whatever they were in the third one, not mentioning Mary Beth, anything like that. So Mary Beth is really an unsung hero and not glorified at all. So all the attention kind of went away from her, and I'm sure she didn't really care to have any of that anyway. So I don't try to make Andrew into a hero, like an action hero or anything like that, which I liked. But he does try and take some more responsibility. He does sort of, snap just a little bit here and there in the movie, for everyone pointing fingers at him and stuff like that. But yeah, so, the friends and the, people on the plane, trying to set up these interviews, as well as, his agent, who fell asleep and slept through the plane crash, by the way, which was funny. She was played by Lisa Rose, I think. So I can go to this real quick. Just want to be sure. Come on, load. Yep. Okay, yeah, she was quite funny as well, and that's something about this movie. It is probably the most comedic, and that's kind of a lot to say because all the movies are horror comedies. And with movies like these, they're very, self-aware of what they are. They know how over the top they are, and the Hatchet movies always have. And so it's hard to say like any part of them's bad or like really criticize something about them when they're not taking themselves that seriously anyway. So if I were to say like the acting, it's probably the worst in the series. It's kind of like a two-way thing, Yeah, maybe, but they're kind of going for that, cheesy, campy, over the top, not so serious acting style, you know what I mean? I mean, you have Q from Impractical Jokers in this one, which is funny to see him in this. I really love Impractical Jokers, so it's cool to see him. There's I wouldn't say this one's the best in terms of like horror or kills. There are some decent kills in this one. Whole cell phone fisting thing. It's ridiculous, but it's funny. And there's a couple more simple but still brutal ones here and there as well. I did like the actress who played Chloe, the one who was trying to get a movie made and stuff like that. She's killed a little bit earlier than I thought she would be, though. I thought she'd be like one of the final few. But I do end up liking her friend as well. So there are some likable characters in this one, and like I said, some of these characters are kind of forced to confront each other because they try to hide in the wrecked plane as Dr. Crowley's trying to get in periodically. They even make a joke about that sander thing being just left out in the open for like 10 years now. So you can use that again like he did to get in the boat in the third movie. So it's funny. I can I could spend all night trying to go back and talk about all the jokes and the back and forths and stuff, but these people obviously had a lot of fun working on this movie, and they fully embrace its nature, and I laughed out loud quite a few times. Haddonfield is even mentioned for one reason or another with the character, of course, a Halloween reference. It's a fun movie. Like I said, I don't think it's the best in terms of kills and horror, though. I didn't feel as like a frantic, intense tone as I did with some of the other ones. Like I said, the kills aren't really the most creative, minus one or two. And the ending I also felt was a little anticlimactic. The boat tour guy, he's this really cheesy wannabe actor, and he's fun as well. But they get this idea to, rev up the, plane engine that's still kind of working, and then somehow push Crowley into that. And, I read some reviews that said the comedy became a bit much at times, and, I disagree with that just because I know the nature of these movies. But at the end, maybe, just because Victor Crowley's standing there just sort of waiting for him to do something because they keep screwing up, like Andrew misses with the flare gun, or different things like that, or the girl... the friend, throws a hatchet after saying this big one-liner or something like that, and she didn't throw it hard enough, so it just falls on the ground. It's funny, and Crowley's just looking back and forth. I'm just, come on. But then the boat tour guy ends up making the sacrifice and tackling him into the engine, shredding them both, supposedly. But now Crowley's on his cycle again, so he's going to come back, ever since they recited that, ritual or whatever. It was cool to see Tony Todd, because they end up landing on his recording of it, and that's the one that actually brings Crowley back, from Reverend Zombie. So that was kind of a cool tie back. But yeah, so the ending I felt was a little anticlimactic. It kind of lacked the oomph and just this gory satisfaction of the other three films, I think. Especially 2 and 3. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. I can't deny that, and that's why I'm giving it a C+. Not my favorite of the series, but I'm really, really loving the Hatchet films. I hope we don't have to wait too long for Hatchet 5. We know it's coming. Danielle Harris is going to be back in a big way, which I can't wait for. Yeah, let me know you guys thought about Victor Crowley. Like I said, not the best, and it is unfortunate that some of it was kind of them on the plane the whole time. But the movie nonetheless went by really fast for me. Like before I knew it, there was like 20 minutes left. So I kind of also like that. I also like that Adam Green's kept each of the movies so far to like 80-85 minutes or so, or not much more than that really. Maybe 90 at most. I don't know. I don't even think that. So I've enjoyed the short but sweet runtime as well. I think it's appropriate for these movies. Yeah, I could keep talking about it, but it's almost 3 a.m. as well, so I should probably get to bed. Let me know what you guys thought about this one if you've seen it, and how much are you anticipating Hatchet 5? Apparently he has an idea to take Victor Crowley out of the swamp somehow, though, so that should be interesting. I don't think anything as extreme as space, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.